Hey y'all, welcome to the second installment of Echoed Influence. I'm here once again with
Ava Rodriguez.
And we're bringing on one of our crew members,
Petey.
And we have a special guest today,
Julian Castro.
So,
My voice on.
first of all, I would like to talk about Petey. What is it that you do, and how did we come to know you?
I'm a photographer, and I know April from when she would sub.
A past life.
Yeah, the past life.
Fast life.
And then I met everyone else. I think when I helped her with, or I went to the first home gallery event, and then I was in the second one.
And his work is fantastic, guys.
Yeah.
He has a real good eye for photography.
Thank you.
Some people just have it, you know.
Yeah.
And especially when you would come to the meetings, I don't know, just your vibes made a lot of us more comfortable. I'm just going to go that far and say that, okay? And Julian, what's your art? What is your motives and everything like that? What are your influences?
I would say like sketch artists, you know? Kind of. I mean, I work in like watercolor and marker mostly.
Nice.
But, you know, it's all really just sketches and just throw
And
And
what
those
are they-
are all
what-
his side art, I would say.
Well,
Yeah.
what are they sketches of?
Usually drag queens.
That's dope.
I don't even know. I
Oh,
think
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Before we used to work with charcoal, you remember?
Oh my god, you gave my
Nightmare,
dad
it's a nightmare now.
at my last event at DonCon. You had given my dad a free thing, and
You wanna
he
beat it?
he put it up like on his.
He actually put it
desk.
up?
You
He
saw
said he
that?
was too.
It was just he just kind of just put it right there as memorable, you know.
Yeah.
That was a great night. What did you think of DonCon, you guys?
That was pretty dope.
I think that was one of our best events.
Yeah, one of the better ones too.
So much
Yeah.
positivity too.
It was, like, we had a good turnout with
Yeah.
people.
A lot of people dressed up.
Yeah,
Which was pretty
I
cool.
Was surprised.
Like, and like people we didn't know dressed up.
Yeah, like there was that dude.
That's why I was impressed by that.
There was that dude that kept talking to my dad, right? And I just I guess nobody knew him. I thought people had known him, and I'm like, I don't know that fool.
I didn't even see a guy in a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
He was
I didn't
in
even see that.
if you've seen Lost, he was in the Dharma jumpsuit.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
remember.
shit.
He was just chatting my
You know.
pop's ear off like a fucking mobster though. Like they were either doing a drug deal or like, hey, let me meet you in the back. You know, bring them empanadas. So I wanted to talk about like how earlier we were talking about drag and everything, and how I thought it was a lot like cosplay.
Uh-huh.
You know, I wanted to know like if there's a, you know, I know these guys have daily lives, so it's kind of like they have to, that's really what they're pretending to be.
Yeah.
And then once they're drag, they're actually, this is who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
my
I kind
natural
of
self.
I kind of like relate that to cosplay. Like this is who I kind of have to be in the daily life, but in my real life, I wish I could just put on Spider-Man's outfit and just go out there and act like Spider-Man.
And just kick ass.
Yeah, just go out there, bam, and, you know, no matter what happens, you know, there's a lot of comics books with Spider-Man getting his ass beat too. So you're kind of, you know, if you get your ass beat, you're going along with the comic. So would you ever like to go to a Comic-Con? Like if you had a choice, like, you know, Stanley's Kamikaze, we've been going for the last 2 years and stuff. Is that something you'd be interested in going?
Yeah, because they have I think drag queen merch is there. And
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
they do. They have a. They
You
have
saw
like
my
a,
friend's
a
booth?
section. They have like a whole area.
Yeah, my friend
Yeah.
Bible Girl, he's the owner of drag queen merch. A lot of people don't know that. It's like a multi-million-dollar
That's cool.
demand shit. It's pretty
Dope.
dope, yeah. So that's what I saw too. I know they invited drag queens to have like their own kind of section there at Comic-Con,
Mhm.
and they just, you know, they cosplay
Kill it,
as
yeah.
Salcido or whatever the fuck they
Yeah.
like.
Where would
I saw
you
that.
go as?
Oh, probably Elvira.
Oh, that's a good one.
I have the tits for it, so.
How about you, Petey? Where would you go as the Comic-Con? Like if you had a character that you wanted. It doesn't have to be a comic book.
Yeah.
I would like it to be a comic, personally.
Honestly, I don't know. Because I've been to Comic-Con, but I didn't dress up.
I think I've only dressed up. We've
I've
only dressed up
always-
twice.
I've always had a really hard time dressing up, like
Yeah, I don't know.
knowing what to be, or I feel like I'm a fake, like dressing up as someone like, oh, I like them, but I don't know that much about
Yeah.
them.
Like,
to
don't
be
ask me
like-
questions
yeah.
about them.
Just as long as the
Because I
wig is
don't
on,
know.
right?
There are a lot of, trust me, there are a lot of people out there who dress the part and even go all out because it looks awesome. And they probably read 1 or 2 comic books that they personally related to. That was enough. But they, you know, you ask them anything else about them, they don't know shit.
That's what I'm always afraid of, is like Like, you see, people are so
that's
passionate
dope.
about it, and I don't want to be
You would
like
go with
the
her?
imposter or
Nice.
the faker
She has her own
in
company?
that
Yeah,
situation.
I didn't. Like, I don't even like wearing like merch from like
Yeah,
comic
me
books
either.
or like bands or anything. I'm like, okay, I
love
like
the
fucking
illustrations.
Yeah.
what band was I gonna say right now? Shit, I don't even know. Like, I like Paramore, but like if I
Oh
buy
my
merch from
God.
them, I don't know that much about like all of them. Like, I honestly don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
So you're
I
picky
feel
with
like
your merch that you buy?
Yeah, I'll hardly ever wear merch.
Mm.
Only like right now I have a Sublime shirt, but that's only because my clothes are dirty.
I love Sublime.
And see, I like Sublime, but I wouldn't like.
Yeah.
I don't know that I am enough. Not that I'm not a fan, or I don't think they're good enough to be on my body. I just feel like I'm not
It, like, you know, I,
worthy. I guess maybe that's the
Or,
word.
or you
I don't know, I
feel
feel
like
like
you
it's
couldn't
more-
promote them, or you couldn't like I guess
Yeah.
back them up when questions were asked.
Yes,
And you know,
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
who's
I
the lead
think-
singer? And you're like,
Yes,
fuck, I don't know.
But I like that. I like that.
Answer's
one
Bradley
song,
knows,
yeah.
guys. Just,
No, like, I
just
think a lot
saying.
I think it's more just pressure
to save this
from
podcast.
other people. I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
like you're pressured that other people are gonna like, you know,
Yeah.
think that you're the fake fan.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, that's
you
how
don't
it
mean
is.
to be.
Yeah.
If you don't have the merch,
Exactly.
you're
For
not
me,
a
that
fan.
started at home, though. My brother was constantly questioning me. Like, I would listen to a song that I loved, and he goes, "You don't even know who that is. Who is that?" And I'd be like, "Shit, I don't know, because the internet's not a
Like
thing
if
yet."
you're wrong for liking something just because you like the sound of it.
Yeah, and now you feel like a fool for not knowing. And like, and the same thing with comic books. Like, I don't know everything there is to know, but I feel like if you're gonna claim to be a comic book fan, there's some things you should know.
Yeah.
You know, the web doesn't come from Spider-Man's body. You know.
Yeah.
That was my only problem with that Spider-Man movie. That was my only
Tobey
problem. That
Maguire.
it was Tobey Maguire. It came out of his body. I was like, oh, now he's okay. What are they doing?
Yeah,
He's
because
a
I
mutant?
saw the movie before I read the comics. Yeah, I was surprised.
And I believe, like, I'm not sure, but I think when that came out, that was a thing, like, with Stan Lee had a little problem with that. Because Spider-Man's his baby. Like, that's his thing.
Yeah,
So,
I think all of them are his thing.
Are you guys-
They're all like special.
well, are you guys familiar with X-Men? Like,
X-Men.
not just the movie, but, like, just, like, the
not
animated
really.
series or anything else? No?
not really.
X-Men through and through?
No,
It's
not
'cause-
at all.
TBH, no. Like, I never, because I have a bad relationship with someone in my family, so like they loved X-Men, so I like kind of
Oh,
strayed away
fuck
from
it.
Yeah.
Not like fuck it. Like I think they're cool like now, but like when I was little, I was like,
See, what I did like was the messages, the simple things that from X-Men in the 70s or like in the animated series, a lot of it was about racial bigotry. It was easy to pick that out. Like these mutants, they're different and they're being hated on for being different. And now in 2018, we've had, or since like what, the early 2000s to 2018, we've had a couple X-Men movies that I feel like they were really touching on like more of the sexual orientation now, not so much as race. Have you ever seen the one of the X-Men? It was Mystique. She constantly was saying mutant and proud, you know, and I thought that was really an extension of that.
Yes.
And if you guys ever get a chance to see Deadpool 2, the movie, there's a scene in there where it's
going later.
have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna go later.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh shit! I
So
kind of
good
I
at
don't
promo,
want to
he's
see.
like,
Yeah,
Deadpool
he
2,
is.
the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, should have gone see
now
it.
in theaters.
Ryan Reynolds.
AMC is $5 every Tuesday.
Someone
Shut the
told me
fuck
that.
up.
Like
Yeah.
someone's like, "Hey, anybody got time to come with me? It's $5 movie night, and I'm a fucking Premiere card member
What
holder."
the fuck?
Yeah.
So they're trying to be
You
like
just-
Whittier now. Whittier's been doing that since the
But
fucking...
Whittier's $6
is it
now.
6 now?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So AMC's actually beating them.
And,
Shit,
and
that's
you
way
know,
better
Whittier
fucking
Village's
ball, yeah.
floors,
We
they're
have to
constantly
take
sticky.
advantage of that.
Oh, and then they have like the couch, like the recliners
Yeah.
now.
Oh.
So it's really nice.
Whittier
Where
has
is
it
this?
No,
Oh,
AMC.
Montebello?
Any AMC.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's-
nice.
Shit.
I went to freaking AMC and they didn't have that. I was really disappointed. But well, that was a while back. But yes, if you get a chance to see Deadpool 2, real quick, I'm not going to try and spoil anything for you, but it seemed like there's an organization that tries to, in their mind, they're rehabilitating mutants to be human or act human and not show their powers or shine, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like one of those pray the gay away programs and stuff. That's how I related it. Because Deadpool realized for a second, like, oh, this kid, you know, someone's hurting this kid, you know, and usually at those programs, that's what happens, and that's what I thought the symbolism was, like, fuck those guys, and you know, it was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So I always like our last episode. We're trying to look at what comics teach us, and when it comes to the X-Men, especially them, they evolve to this like, be tolerant, you fucking classless fucks, like a lot of that. So I was told about the homeless issue by Petey, and I was just wondering if you can just explain and expand on that.
Well, basically, being gay and like maybe even like a community like this, like I've seen kids get disowned by their parents. Like they just like they have to go live with their grandma or like their grandpa, their aunties and uncles and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know. It's a bigger problem than everyone makes it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like they see it as like, oh, it's just a small scale. Like that doesn't happen to everyone. Like me, I was never disowned, but at the same time, not really out.
I see.
To my family.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
Still?
Yeah. I just like it's not that I don't want to tell them. It's just like I don't care to tell them.
Like
Yeah.
you don't want the backlash that's gonna come with it.
Or just that it's not a big deal to you.
Yeah, it's not like I'm okay. This is just my opinion, but I think coming out's corny. I'm like, it's none of your business. Why do you care?
That's cool. That's like,
Yeah.
see, that's the first time I hear of that. Like, usually people look at it as a special time or whatever, and it's like,
Yeah, like
you're looking at it as like, you know what? We should be past this. We should just be like, I don't have to come out and tell you I'm gay. Let's just move on, and then when the question comes up, we could answer as such. You know.
I've surprised a lot of people. Like last year, I did Dawn Games at a rancho, and there was like a group of like freshmen, you know, like it was freshmen and seniors paired together.
Oh
I
yeah.
was a senior, you know, they were freshmen, and then they were like we were all just talking one day, like the event was getting closer. We had spent a lot of time together. We've like kind of bonded, and then like we were talking about stuff, and like I said something like indicating that I'm gay, and then like four of the faces girls like their faces just like
I was gonna say it had to be the girls that were just like so like, oh man,
yeah, they're
fuck, he's gay. Damn it, like not, of course all the cute ones or whatever, you know. Blame it on that.
It was the funniest thing. I was like, you guys are freshmen, either way I would never.
You guys had no chance to begin with.
I was like, I'm literally already like technically an adult. I'm not. You just got out of middle school.
Oh
shit.
See, what was I gonna say? Do you, Julian? Do you have anything to say in relation to like the homeless issue? Have you experienced anything anything going down that path? Because it's all about it's about at this point like raising awareness now, because people obviously weren't very like in a small town, like a lot of people didn't know that, and I just wanted to like raise awareness or prevent that backlash from happening. Is there any experience that you can say that you may have had that PD has said?
Oh yeah. Recently I just got into an argument with my dad, like I was telling you guys earlier, and he had said that he sees a lot of gay like people to drugs, you know, like saying that it's basically gay people's fault, like it's their fault for being gay and that's why they're homeless. When in reality it's the people who don't accept them and they have to leave their house and try to, you know, live on their own once they hit 18. It's like get out because they're gay.
I saw this interview once. This guy went around interviewing, or it was a girl, I don't remember. Went around interviewing people, and they asked them, oh, do you think that being gay is a choice? And when they would say, yes, I do think it's a choice, they would say, okay, so how old were you when you decided to be straight? And they're like, oh.
Kind of just like blend into being straight,
Didn't
you know?
think about that. And they don't realize, like, I think it even goes beyond those sexual orientation too. Like, there's so many things about ourselves that that we didn't get to decide on, that we didn't get to choose, and even like, you know.
And I think like something like race too is something stupid to be proud of.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Irish, so be proud. What the fuck? Like George Carlin said, what does that even mean? With all due respect, you know. But I wanted to talk about like just that what your dad had said, like they go to drugs and everything, but really it's the rejection. It's the parents not accepting, and that's the common denominator. It's the parents not accepting and choosing their morals over their kids. And that happens often. And you know, I want to tell Julian like, oh, just hold on, he'll unravel. But it's not. That's not. I can't guarantee that.
Case,
you know, and but see, like there are people out there obviously who are gonna accept you. I mean, you found a family of your own, and where is this family, and who are they, and what do they do?
Usually like in the clubs, I think. like it's just a bunch of drag queens, just a bunch of like kids wanting to have fun, you know.
Yeah. Could you name a few drag queens that you're influenced by?
Venus Black, Onyx, Bible Girl, such a big drag queen. Just reminds me of Petey, actually. They both speak their fucking mind whenever they want to. They don't give a fuck because they're right and you're
Nice.
wrong.
And definitely, we love you, Petey, for that. We love you for that.
So it's kind of like that, you know. And I
It's
think
kind of, we need someone like that too.
Yeah.
Like when there's a group of people like constantly keeping the peace. You know, it's like we need a peacekeeper, which is like the gun, the metaphorical gun.
Yeah.
Like shut the fuck up.
No, I had this question from earlier. I know it's so random, like I came ready or something. But no, I want to ask you guys. It says, why do you think it's socially acceptable for females to be masculine than for males to be feminine?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they're really either accepted because when a straight woman who's bluntly ignorant, you know, she'll shut out the more masculine,
I see.
I don't know what their term is, but the more masculine female. Like it's not really of this one's more accepted than that one. It's just this one isn't really talked about as much.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and I like to think too, like at this point we have our double standards and we all have to deal with them. You know, like, you know, you see a woman getting hit on the street and immediately you want to jump into action and save. And they did this social experiment many times, and then they switched the roles where the woman gets a little out of control and a little bigger than the guy, and she's pulling him by the hair and dragging it, and people are laughing their asses off.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, dude, that's a little cruel, though. Like, first that you're laughing that someone's getting fucking tortured.
And it doesn't even matter, like, if the woman's bigger than the man. It's just, like, at any size, you shouldn't be putting your hands on anyone if you don't need to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's those guys that just don't want that conflict. You know, they don't want to go to jail for that matter, you know. But then there's those guys who just take advantage of the situation, though, too.
Yeah.
And they just start fucking wailing. And I think that's inappropriate, too. Like, yes, a woman's slapping you up. Yeah, but, you know, and you slap her back, fine. But don't follow up with a left hook and a right cross just to put her to sleep. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
But, like, the masculinity thing is, I think it's just one, like, if it is an issue, it's just one of those double standards that we have to deal with, you know? Like, there's a lot of beneficial double standards women have, but I can't name them off the top of my head because I wasn't ready for that question.
Well, that question didn't come from me. It came, like, somebody asked me, and then, like, I, you know, redid it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, because something that I've noticed, too, and it's, like, I guess it's just a fact in a school, is, like, there's a lesbian couple who's always making out, you know, and then everybody doesn't even give it a second look. Like, it's just, like, it seems natural, but, like, what if that was two guys?
Yeah, people
then
would say
definitely
something.
people would be turning around, you know? That's why it's just kind of like,
But see, like those, I don't know, man. Like, I sometimes think those days are number two, though. Because, like, I'm even thinking back into the Roman age. It's like, what do we have to do? Like, you guys have to be just gladiator badasses to get that respect? Because those dudes were gay as hell, and they didn't have to fucking answer to anybody.
Yeah.
No one thought that they were less manly because they were gay, because they would kill you just the same.
Yeah.
It was just as easy. Spear, sword, didn't matter. You know, or your sexual orientation, any of that. And I think, like, it kind of, I don't know, like, maybe this from the European Bible thing coming over here, kind of whitewashing us and saying, like, it's wrong. We're kind of folding back into what's natural. Just, you know, kind of like some people are like this, some people are like that. It's a spectrum, you know? That's I mean, and then we're all raised, like, with, what do you say, like, influences now. Like, you know, like, if it was, if the new iPod was going down on people, everybody would be doing it. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can't teach decency, TBH. You have to learn it. Like, you have to learn it on your own.
Yeah.
Like, and you could, whether it's like picking it up from someone that you know, like, it's not someone telling you, oh, you have to act like this.
It's a
It's just-
realization.
Yeah, like, you have, like, because I didn't grow up in, like, the most open-minded house.
I believe. Yeah, I mean, like,
So-
old school Mexican families, they really are very
they-
narrow-minded.
Like, I'm not saying that they're super problematic, but, like, they've said some stuff, and, like, I'm nothing like that.
I see.
You know, like,
What they're trying to tell you that you are.
yeah.
I see, though, that you like to avoid the conflict, though. Like, is if there's a conflict that can be created and you see it forthcoming, you kind of just go, I can really just avoid this whole shit, you know? I think, like, with the good and the bad or whatever, that the possible outcome, you kind of just say, fuck that. But back to your story with your father and everything, and, like, I mean, obviously, you don't want to go out on the street and do drugs, but, I mean, like, I mean, like with the homeless, you know, but it's like, you know, fathers like that, you know, if there's any of those guys listening, you know, you're the common denominator when it comes to shunning your child, or, you know, and that's why they are where they're at. You know, if you do your research, I think you would, you know, just be a little bit more open-minded. But with that said, let's see what else we got.
Actually, let's backtrack a little, because a lot of the times people assume that someone's gay because they have daddy issues.
Oh,
basically.
I see.
That's the thing that gets tossed around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say you're gay because your dad didn't like you, but
Like it's learned.
but
almost like still trying to say that it's learned.
yeah, but
I see.
in reality, it's I have problems with my dad because I'm gay. You know, like
Yeah.
like he did. Like if it was his way, like it wouldn't be like I would be straight, because I wouldn't want any more of that negative energy in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would be straight if that were the case, but I can't change who I am. So
I
why
see.
the fuck would I put myself through hell when I can easily fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was telling Julian earlier that most
Same.
times it's an image thing. Like the parents will have this image of their son or their boy, and you know, when it's not met, they fucking freak out, or they feel like these failures, or because I was telling them in relation, the closest thing that I can get to is telling my family that I was pretty much an atheist. You know, I didn't have a religion.
Yeah.
And man, did that really change a lot of things. You know, they didn't invite me places. They didn't want me to do certain things with them as a family, or like they would just out and say it like out of nowhere, like, oh, why would you do that? You're not even religious, or you don't even know what it's about because you don't believe in a God, or like, you know, just putting me down every day. It was this total change in my family,
I didn't know that.
and it was just weird. And that's as close as I can get to that. And like you said, decency is a, would you say, is a thing that's not really taught?
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
it's
taught.
like
It can't
it's
be
just
taught.
yeah.
Yeah, it can't be taught. Yeah.
But see, like at the same time, you know, they came around, you know, and I was talking to Julian as well, and this, I came around myself to just respect the customs. Just go as far as just respecting their customs. Don't call me religious. I'm not religious, but I won't eat meat on Friday. But that's as close as it got for me. And even sometimes now, like when I try and throw in my evolution thing, they go, no, God. Oh, okay, I'll shut up. I'll be quiet.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm what's that term?
Agnostic.
Yeah, agnostic.
Yeah, that's what I truly am. That's what I ended up being, I guess. Yeah. But like, I couldn't figure it out, you know, at the time. Yeah, I didn't at that time. I didn't know agnostic was a word either, and I was just like, I don't know what I am, guys. Just I'm barely figuring that out, and I have a hard enough time figuring out what I'm trying to be about, and then you're just fucking wrong. You're wrong, you know. And they were appalled because I went to Catholic school for like over 10 years. And so they're like, how is it that you went to Catholic school and now you don't really believe in it? I was like, it's probably because I went to Catholic school that I don't believe in it now. You know, and I just wish, my one thing over there, I'd always say, like, why don't we learn a bunch of religions? Like, questioning over there really pissed them off.
I think when you learn a bunch of things, you get the deeper message that goes through all of them too.
Yeah, like I took an anthropology class this last semester on religion and like witchcraft and stuff, like different types of spirituality. And like the more that we talked about these different types of religion, I realized that it's not really, I don't think it's that anyone really believed it. I think it's just more of like a sense of community, like they belong to an area.
Yeah.
Like it's just like cults, like
Yeah.
not all cults are bad, like bad cults, like ones that'll kill you, you know. But like
But it's
there
a sense
are-
of belonging.
Yeah,
that
it's just like-
people really like.
Yeah, it's just like that relationship that they form with each other, and like that's why like I know people who love going to church because of the friends that they made there.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't.
That makes
I
a lot
don't-
of sense.
But then I think after that, it's like kind of like a placebo effect of after hearing it over and over again that you actually believe it. Like people hear religion since they could actually like fucking hear. Like,
Yeah.
like
it's all over the fucking place.
like-
It's on your money. You know?
Yeah, like when people like even come out, they're like, oh, like our little miracle, you know, or like some like some
God bless
bullshit.
them.
Yeah, like they bless you immediately.
But like you said, like not just the placebo effect, but it's almost like contagious. as I know you said that your family, like one person became religious, and then a bunch of people became
yeah.
religious, and then now we're fucking group texting, tracking April in there, who's like, what the fuck, giving you her Bible verses and everything. So it's like that. Like I think it's like that too. Like it's a sense of belonging, like you said, and it's like, okay, well the whole family's doing it. I bet I might as well do it too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But see, like going against the grain kind of will like shun you, you know, like some of our families did do for at least a little while, you know, and for at least me, it took some adjusting.
Yeah.
You know, and that I can't believe, I didn't think that they would be that devastated because of knowledge.
I know it's off topic, but have you guys ever seen The Strangers?
Mm-hmm.
The movie? None of you guys watched it? Oh, fuck.
Is that with what's Teddy's name?
Cyclops.
Yeah.
Jason Marsden.
I don't know. I was high as fuck watching it. But no, it was fucking... I think...
Was the guy really good?
Because, you know, I'm
looking?
very, like, spooky. I love all that scary shit. But the shit that scares me, because, you know, I'm not really scared by anything. The shit that scares me is, like, the real life stuff.
Yeah.
Which is, like, The Strangers is literally just fucking a bunch of murderers. Just for fun, because they can do it. Because they want to do it for fun. But the movie was, I don't know if it was the marijuana or what, but it was so fucking intense because, like, every time they stabbed or something, it's like you could feel it, you know?
It was intimate.
Yeah, it was just trippy to think that there's people in the world who are genuinely that fucked up in the head to, like, go on killing rampages like that.
Yeah.
But then I respect them so much because they are really smart.
Yeah, you know what? Most of them are on that borderline of insanity and genius. You know, I know there's a lot of guys who can make sense of wiping out half, like Thanos. Like, why don't they wipe out half of this planet with their fucking hands, though, and just start blasting people?
Yeah.
You know, and they can make sense of it, which is already psychotic. And then, but to get me going, you know.
I was gonna say though, like to push, like you just for a second. I know, like we're also taught to think that the people that go on those shooting rampages are the bad guys. Those people though have also been pushed to their personal limit. To that point, they know what's going to happen. They know the consequences. They know, but they've been pushed so far that they felt that was the only way out for them. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's saying that there's something wrong there. You know, like and especially now within America, like with all these school shootings happening, like that's something's
push that. And usually, like these school shootings, like I mean, I don't know how true they are. I don't know which one to really believe, like the conspiracy theorists or these guys. But it comes down to like the last two shootings was because like they were racist guys who like were part of some kind of neo-Nazi or clan or whatever, and their girlfriend broke up with them for some black guy. Yeah. You know, and it just like dude goes on a shooting rampage.
That's why like there's something wrong there deeper, like
to snap like just like that,
like teaching like kids don't know how to deal with their emotions. They don't know how, they're not being taught how to handle situations like that. They're not being taught how to integrate with one another, you know, like we're all different, whether you have the same skin color as me or not. We're different. You look at me like I'm a weirdo and I look at you like you're a weirdo, you know, like it's like we're all aliens on this planet together is what it feels like, and you have to learn to accept all the other
I'm here and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I know you don't either, you know, you're looking at me.
Another one that was fucking trippy was that I always trip out on was the Night Stalker.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
You never heard? Was I talking about?
It's Richard Ramirez, right?
Yeah.
That dude. Yeah, and we were talking about how he was captured in East LA.
Yeah, he's fucking insane. That you've never heard? You were alive during the time, though. No.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard
I think I
like if you said the story, I'm pretty sure I recognize it.
Yeah,
but, like I don't recognize the name.
It's just fuck. What did he do? I can't remember right now, but he done like it's so disgusting. He would rape girls, but like he would get like only the bright colored houses and shit like that. But like he would do some satanic shit in your house first, like fucking cut into his hand like a pentagram. Honestly, iconic, but like
when he broke into the house.
Yeah, when he broke into the house, but he was local, like fucking Whittier area local. It was
what's his name?
Richard Ramirez.
Oh yeah, I remember the name.
Stalker.
Yeah, but he would.
And you're right. Like I'm not sure what his motives were. Do you know?
I think his motives were just to kill, like, no matter what. Like,
See, and that's what I was going to
house to
expand
get
on too.
things.
Like, there are just some dudes who just do it out of enjoyment.
I think too, like I think it has a lot to do though, like depending on when you're hurt, like what age you are when you're hurt, whatever emotional hurts can really. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that are just born with some kind of mental, like.
There's kids like people can show like they don't know how to perceive or show empathy at all. Like they have no understanding for emotion, so they don't know pain. So they can like, you know, like
it's a brain. It's about a brain scan too. Like certain brain activity is happening, and certain like empathetic activity is just gone. Kind of like programming in Westworld, you know. But that's how they're born, or whatever's sending us over here is programming them as such. There was this guy who he was a neurologist himself. He had a nephew, and his sister calls him one day and explains like, our son, you know, he was just playing in the sandbox, and then all of a sudden he just gets this rage and he starts just fucking up the girls like next to him, and the boys just like starts going on a rage.
Oh my gosh.
And as the neurologist uncle, he's just like, that's not right. So he's talking to the kid and asking him questions, and it basically gets to the point just saying to the kid, just saying, I'm just angry. I don't know. I can't stop it. I don't know what to do about it. I don't, like, the kid just is at a loss because he's a child. He's like 7. And his solution was just, hey, get a scan. Just go ahead and get a scan. And so they got a brain scan, and they found like something wrong with his brain that's making his like the violent tendencies hyperactive. It's kind of like a cyst or something that was preventing the chemical to going into that side, so it surged to the other. And it made him so hyperactive and angry. And he could have lived, he would have been fine, but that's how it was. So they removed the cyst or whatever it was and caused proper brain flow, and the kid was normal. And by doing such, like I said, the recovery, like when he was associating with kids, didn't have an angry bone in his body. So it could be even down to that. And I know I was waiting for that Raising Cruz, you know. It was just like, is he gonna be, because he fucking was a fighter. Every time he came over, first thing he wanted to do as soon as he saw my nephew Alex was throw blows. Like, fight. That's the only thing he wanted to do, man, for hours, just them. And my nephew Alex, he just kind of lets him. He just kind of rolls over and lets him. And sometimes he'll get a good shot in.
Yeah, he's
and then
strong.
Once he knows he gets that good shot in, he wants to follow up. And like if he sees blood, he gets even more excited. Like he's great. So but then he has, like, when he sees the puppy, he's very like gentle, and so he distinguishes it. And you know, I can't judge the kid too much. I mean, I hit my sister in the face with a wooden mallet at 2 years old. Yeah, and I'm fine.
Yeah, I think I fucking threw my sister against like a wooden fence, but it was like a stabby wooden fence.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
fucking threw her against it, and she like lost her fucking breath and like passed out. And I didn't give not one fuck. I laughed, and I went inside. And I'm good now.
but I was 2 years old, and my sister's like, she was 13.
I was like 11.
She's
But
13.
I'm good now.
I felt so. I mean, I kind of remember feeling bad. Like, why the fuck did I? She was in the restroom, like bleeding everywhere, busted lip and nose, and I was just like a 2-year-old barely walking. Like, oh wow, shit. But you shouldn't have fucking kicked me out the front room. I was obviously watching cartoons.
I wanted to backtrack a bit because I feel like it's kind of dangerous if we call all like murders and stuff mentally ill, but then I'm also I'm at like a crossroad. Like, I'm not sure how to feel about it.
I see.
Because I'm like, not everyone with mental illness does the things that they do.
No, yeah, definitely not.
So like,
It's just
I'm
those
not
are
sure
the
what
ones
to
who go that far doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to call them. Like, I'm not sure what to call those group of people. Like,
I think it's
I'm not sure if I should feel
mix.
bad for like them being pushed to their limit, or if I should, because other people are pushed to like max their past their limits, and like they don't do
That's true,
anything.
Yeah.
I see.
So I never know how to feel about that
Do
situation.
you think it always has to just be about pushing to your limit, though?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't.
No.
I feel like people just do it for fun.
They have an
really.
enjoyment, yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
I mean,
why there's like that separation. Like people
Yeah.
there's like people who don't do anything at all. People who push their limits, and like
Yeah.
people who are just like, I'm gonna do it because I want to.
Yeah, because they get.
And that's
some
how the
enjoyment out
strangers
of it.
was. Finally, like, she had her pinned down, like the girl who was trying to kill her, and the girl was like, "Why do you want to kill me?" And she's like, "Because I can. Like, just because I can, you know." And that's why I'm saying, like, those movies are the genuinely scary ones, because it doesn't, I mean, yeah, there's, like, you know,
like,
there's demonic things in the world, but...
Like, it happens every day, but maybe not to you.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
and it's just crazy that, fuck, people go through that shit, you know? And I think it's just crazy, because it's not, like, your typical scary, demonic, or possessed, like, you know, that shit does happen, but that's still not every day either.
Yeah, that's even more rare, too. Like, you hear more about murders from, like... just people besides, and you never hear about exorcisms or anything in the news because like
literally
white America doesn't want to hear that.
Yes, exactly.
Like they don't want to, like, especially religion runs America.
Yeah. Oh, it runs most of the world, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, like
the Vatican is its own. The Vatican is its own like entity. It seems like I think they own Bank of America. You know, and man, like if you defy it, I mean, they're just brushing off pedophilia charges like nothing. Like only what organization can really do that? Them. But Doug Stanhope had said something about mental illness that I'm probably going to end up butchering. But he had said like how we treat people with mental illness and with mental disorders. He's like, you get those people with the mental disorders that, like, you know, that eat paint and they fucking, you know, they do the Special Olympics and stuff. But the mental illness guy gets treated way different. You know, like that's the difference between the two. And sometimes the mentally ill person will feel like there's bees in his head and shit like that. And sometimes those people will get a gun and just fucking kill everybody. And I think like just to I guess extend the olive branch on what you were saying. Like, I don't know what exactly to call them either, but there's definitely like push to that. I mean, some of them are pushed to that point, and some of them enjoy it. And I mean, what would you know? How would you describe it?
I was gonna, cause like, it's kind of like terrorism. You know, that they're literally terrorists. So like, I would probably call them extremists.
Yeah.
You know, cause like extremists in Islam. Like, not Islam is a peaceful religion, but like there are those people who like, you know,
go to the extreme.
Yeah, to
gratify their god.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure if to call it a gray area, but
well, see, yeah, like those guys think they're heroes. You know what I mean? So it's like at the same time is that a mental illness to believe that you're doing the right thing when you're clearly killing people.
Delusion.
You know, like you're giving yourself, how do you say, like you're talking yourself into it in a sense. Like you're making yourself believe it.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Thanos kept saying, I know this is a comic book podcast, but it's like when Thanos kept saying like I'm killing half these people because I'm showing mercy. He's not. He can clearly make a double size the reality and feed those mouths, but he wants the death. He wants the control.
Yeah.
You know, and to control life means that probably life's gonna end up fucking you up, and killing you.
I'm not sure what it's called, but I was gonna call Thanos like an I don't know the word. It's a eco something.
An ecologist.
Yeah, ecologist. Like they like, cause I think he has like realistic views. He like recognizes the problem that we have with like, and I also think that's another issue that it touches on, like overpopulation, like us not having enough resources, like us killing the earth.
Yeah.
Like he sees that the living beings are the problem. It's because like, you know, we're too advanced or whatever. And he was like, but like his way of fixing it is just twisted.
Yeah.
Like he could double the reality and then everyone would be good. Like life would prosper, but he wants to kill.
Yeah.
Like he thinks that's the only way.
Yeah, and see, like instead of exploring the other ways or having them like
he's
like creating
he's
beings
stubborn.
that could set an example, you know, or whatever, you know, like I mean, there's many ways of doing it. He was just the quick and easy way was just to kill everybody. But I mean, you know, like what Jeff Goldblum said is like life finds a way. You know, it's like you can't stop it. You know, the moment you try to control it too is when it fucking destroys you. Ultimately, I found.
Yeah, and I think that's why I like Marvel and I resonate more with Marvel because they touch on a lot of real life issues. Like Thanos did that, and then Killmonger was doing the same exact thing. Like he wanted to go help all the people of color that were being like
oppressed.
Yeah, like.
And the funny thing is though that the fucking weapons would have been in the hands of the extremists though. It would have been in the wrong hands. You know, those guys who would have done the extreme wrong and killing the wrong people, like instead of giving it to the right, proper people just to defend. Do you think if Thanos came and Killmonger was king, do you think, how do you think he would have done? Killmonger.
He probably would have sided, I think.
Oh, he would have sided with Thanos?
Yeah, because I think they're both on like some social justice warrior shit.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
I
honestly thought if he tried to
together.
fight, I thought if they would fight, like he wouldn't do it right. You know, he would just like because he
is more impulsive. He doesn't think things through. Like he didn't think about all the hurt he was gonna do to everyone who virtually did nothing to anyone.
Exactly, yeah. He was stepping on other people's cultures basically to get what he wanted.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, yeah, like he would have probably sided with Thanos and said, like, you know what? I don't care about fucking these people. Take half of them.
Yeah.
Just don't take me.
Yeah, they would have came to like some sort of agreement.
That is crazy. That's a good theory. I think so too.
I mean, do I agree with their reasoning? Yeah. Do I agree with the way they executed it? No.
I see. Because like,
I'm like, wow, they're right.
Yeah.
But don't do it like that.
Yeah, because like, see, I always go back to Loki too. Loki believes he's a hero. Mm-hmm. He believes he's doing right in everything that he's doing. You know, right by the family he was taken away from and everything. So even from Loki onward, I would just dig into the villain. Like what motivates this fool, and it's usually that they think they're doing the right thing, they think they're being the hero, except for Ant-Man. That guy was just a dick. That guy was a fucking asshole. Yellow Jacket. Have you seen Ant-Man?
I actually haven't.
Visually,
it's on Netflix, right?
I believe so. I think so.
I'm gonna go watch it later after I'm done.
It is
to watch it soon.
Not virtually, visually amazing, man. Like I remember it came out around the same time Batman vs Superman came out, and I was way more entertained by Ant-Man. Way more. It was amazing. And then now Ant-Man and Wasp coming out. Woo! Talk about comics all day, guys. So, in relation to that, like, do you guys feel like the X-Men in any way? Like, if I could just paint this picture, the X-Men are like, they have their powers, and the common person wants them to keep their powers in check and shit. Don't show the whole world your powers. Be like everybody else. So I felt like maybe there'd be some kind of relation there. And usually, that's the first thing, like, the outsider loves is the X-Men, because you have this power. You guys have something special that nobody really else has or has to even deal with.
I think it doesn't even like directly relate to the LGBT community. I think it's more just anyone who's ever felt other.
Yeah, black sheep.
Like anyone who's ever been marginalized.
Mm-hmm.
Like they, like with, shit. What was I gonna say?
Marginalized. Like the nerds and stuff. Like in the like.
Not even that. I think it could branch out to race too.
Yeah. That's why I was saying, like, in the early 1970s. That was the whole reason of bringing up X-Men because it was to raise awareness on racial bigotry, and they even had a group, and like a group of extremists who were just like, no more mutants, and they would go out and kill mutants. Yeah. And then I remember watching the animated series. There was a guy who was kind of hairy. He looked like a werewolf, but he was dressing normal and he had a cane. And they were like, no more mutants. He goes, hey, I don't have any powers or special abilities. I just kind of look fucked up, and they still killed him. Like, and it sucks. And They were lynching mutants, which was crazy too. Yeah. So yeah, like definitely, like that was the first thing. And Deadpool too. When you go see that, he'll say that he sees like a black officer, and he goes, "I'm part of a group who led the way on racial equality and blah 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 blah. So you're welcome." And he just points at some random black dude. It was fucking hilarious. So yeah, you're right. And I was just figuring, like, you're right. Anybody who felt like the black sheep or different, the X-Men were the ones to go to. When you say you resonate more with Marvel, I mean, shit, I do too. Being a fucking middle class to a broke ass, I feel like Peter Parker most days. Like I have this superpower. I'm trying to help people while having a job, pay bills, take care of my parents, take care of the household, pay back student loans, have a love life. In his case, though, he lost his first girlfriend to his best friend. Not that he lost her, like, and cheated. She died. Mm-hmm. Harry killed her. So, I mean, no spoilers, I know. That's like Spider-Man 1. I think you guys had enough time to read that. But yeah, like, he goes through a lot of shit, and then he doesn't use his powers to go fucking kill or steal or any of that shit. So I respect Spider-Man and fuck Batman.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I hate him.
Batman's so fucking annoying.
Yeah. You know what's more annoying are like
that ass always like, oh, poor me.
Yeah. and like I go out and I get the comic books for material and I read through them and I just Marvel writing is just way better. Like I'm looking at this DC comic of Batman and Superman's talking to Batman about like, oh, so what are you gonna do and how are you gonna handle it and why don't I just help you? It's basically Batman wants to fight Bane, and it's like, why don't you bring Superman? This dude broke your back the last time you fought. Don't be. And he's like, I'm gonna handle it myself. I was like, dude, that's terrible writing. Like, if I was Superman, I still wouldn't have listened to him. I would have over there smacked Bane in the face and just been done with it. But that's terrible writing. But
I feel like DC's more like traditional hero type shit. Like the villains always go on like monologues and shit.
Yeah.
Saying shit that no one really cares about.
Yeah. And I think when they made them, they were trying to make like these new gods, like infallible people. Like, you know, like Superman, who's the strongest dude there, you know, but I'll never know what it's like to fly or be a super like powered human being. He was born that way. Batman, I'll never know what it's like to be a billionaire. I don't know what it's like to fucking relate to that dude. I don't know what it's like to be Wonder Woman. That's for damn sure.
Oh, she's so badass.
Yeah.
I think she's like my only like one of the only
DC favorites.
Yeah.
I you know, her and
Not
I share a
Gal Gadot,
birthday.
Take that back.
You know,
Comic
fuck
book
Gal
is
Gadot,
Wonder
but,
Woman.
like,
Nice.
Fuck.
I'm gonna say it again. Fuck Gal Gadot.
Oh, nice, man.
Say it for the people in the back row.
Yeah, I didn't like her as the. I'm sure she's a
love
great
the
actress.
Movie. I love the
but-
movie, but I don't like. No, I don't like her.
Oh, you don't?
I don't like her.
alright.
Oh.
Why?
Because she's a Zionist. I'm not sure if I butchered that word or not, but it's like people are justifying inhumane acts that are happening over, and I think it's
Israel.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, that
And
makes sense.
it's like they're justifying what they're doing because they're like, oh, Israel's the homeland. You know, so shit like dumb
it's
shit like
not,
that.
Though. Like
Like dumb shit like that.
I learned about that too. How Pakistan basically got their land stolen and shit, and
Yeah, she's like a proud Zionist.
yeah. Well, she's part of the military. I'm pretty sure she has to be. Like, I mean,
She's an actress now.
yeah, that's true. In Israel, it's like you have to do like 2 years minimum military, and certainly sure that they kind of I'm not going to say brainwashed, but they certainly influenced her to be.
Yeah, they probably did it. Well, I don't want to like assume
But it was early age. I'm positive because now she's an actress and she's a young actress. Yeah, how old is she?
Shit, I don't know. TBH. I don't know.
She's not important enough for me to look up either, but the Wonder Woman herself was like, you know, I trip out on like the common woman or girl who likes comic books because it's like they're more intrigued and interested in being like Harley Quinn, but not like Wonder Woman.
I think because Harley Quinn, I love Harley Quinn. I love her. Because I think it's more women resonate with her because of the toxic relationship that she's in.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, I feel like, wouldn't you not want to be that? Like, when it comes time to being Harley Quinn, nobody wants to be her. You know what I mean? But when it comes time to, like, I don't know, the good times, I guess, or, I mean, I get that, but
yeah, like
she's what is it? Stockholm Syndrome. She has a case of Stockholm Syndrome. The guy beats her and stuff, and she sides with her captive.
He literally threw her out a window, like, out like a 4-story window.
Yeah, here's something that I don't know if a lot of people know, but I always throw this argument in there when it comes against Batman. Now, Batman was knocked out and captured by Harley Quinn and for the Joker. She did it for the Joker. Tied him up and everything, and he was fucking pissed. The Joker got so mad.
Yeah, she did it as like a surprise for him.
Yeah, he smacked her to the ground and apologized to Batman and released him. As far as I knew, Batman was as good as dead. Like, he didn't have a contingency plan. He he couldn't escape. He was going to die. And Joker, being the crazy maniac that he was and the sociopath, he wants you to know that he did it. So
he wants all the glory.
Yeah, he cut him down, let him go, and fucking beat the shit out of Harley Quinn a little bit more, as far as I recall. And
I think that's where he threw her out the window.
No, that's right. That's right. And
that's literally like this, like the situation I was talking about.
Like the toxic relate. That's true, and people like resonate with that. And I just wish they would strive to be more like Wonder Woman, though, like a woman who doesn't need a man, a woman who does it on her own and has no weaknesses. You know, she genuinely has no weakness. She doesn't have a kryptonite. She doesn't need fucking money.
The true misandrous queen.
And she, those bracelets on her, they actually render her powers.
Mm-hmm.
When she takes them off, she can fly, and she beat the shit out of Superman and Batman. There's one where she has her foot on top of Batman, and she's saying "stay down," and he's like face down. He's done. Batman's never beaten Wonder Woman, as far as I can tell.
He couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think he can either. Like, he has a contingency plan for all of the Justice League, and what his contingency plan would be to have her hallucinate and fight until her heart gives out. But that's the best plan he's got, and he's never been able to execute it, and I don't think it would work.
First of all, he's human.
Yeah. See, yeah, let's get that
I was
out
like,
of
you
it too.
probably died before she did.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's quick, and she's fast, and like, yeah, she'll kill that fool. Next time we go to Frankincense, you guys should come with us, because I would really like to recommend you comic books. Like, just even if I have to buy it, I'm like, read this shit. I think you would resonate with it, and then like, you know, we'd come back and we could talk about it.
That's hot.
Oh, and I wanted to go backtrack to Harley Quinn again. I don't think it's more people wanting to be like better than who they are. I think it's just more, I resonate with her. She knows what I'm going through. Like, I love her.
I see.
Like, we understand each other.
I know this is off topic, but you could edit it out if you want. But you know that Pico Rivera's like #1 cop, like the cops get called for is domestic violence. I didn't know that. That's like.
Wait, what was that?
I think that's the most common, like, throughout America.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I haven't even think of Pico, but it's such a small town, kind of. But that's the #1 call for police. They said that they get most calls for domestic violence in Pico Rivera.
Yeah,
I was like, that's fucking crazy.
A bunch of people kind of keep their hands
I
off
really
each
think
other.
that's like really just across America though. Like,
Yeah.
I think just domestic violence is just a big issue that people are facing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know my family has experience with it. Like we're still having experience with it. But
It's scary
it's
too.
just,
Like if you've ever been around it while it's happening, it's like
It's very uncomfortable.
It's something trippy. Like
yeah, especially have you guys ever been like friends over at someone's house and like the family just starts fighting with each other?
Yeah. When I was a kid, it's like so awkward.
I'm like,
you're like, so can your mom take me home?
Yeah. Sounds like she
leave?
doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But your mom says she'll take me home.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a lot to do too with a lot of relationships are like that with kids, or because of the kid, you know, like that's the only reason they're really together. That's the only reason. So then they're with this person that they can barely stand because
like they think it's gonna be better because they're gonna have that whole family experience, but when it's just gonna be them fighting all the time, like they don't anticipate the hurt that they're gonna do to the child,
or because they had unprotected sex, or because
their family's making them keep it.
And now on average, too, you got this like grown person who hasn't even figured out themselves, and they're just downloading all their insecurities into this little person, like their little
like they're projecting their problems onto their child because that's all they know how to do, because that's all their parents did to them.
Yeah, like, you know, and it's like my dad didn't really like, it was kind of like that for him. I felt like his bartender, you know, most days, like we'd go to work or we'd go do something together, and it's mostly he just vent to me, and I couldn't say much. Even as a little kid, and even now I get to talk back to him, not back, but like reply, and he'd actually take it serious.
Like you have input now.
Yeah.
You're able to give a articulate response.
Yeah. And he, like, you know, but ever since I was little, you know, and Bill Burr, he had the same experience with his dad. He was a comedian, and oh my God, it made me laugh because I totally related. He goes, my dad could have made any problem about my mom, you know, and it's like, oh, something would fucking break. He'd be like, oh, God damn it. Bill, give me that screwdriver. You know, I don't even know why I got fucking married in the first place. Like, you know, it's like, it has nothing to do with his mom. And he's like, he goes, I used to trip out on how my dad used to talk to my mom. Like, one of the favorite things he used to say is like, most guys would have left by now. Most guys would have left. Or, you don't know how fucking good you have it, lady. Like, that was, and it's so funny because that's exactly what my dad used to yell about. And I used to think, like, damn, this dude's fucking crazy. And then I started dating, and I just kind of realized, like, oh man, he had some really good points, you know, like, some fucking bitches are just get you that fucking point, you know, you just gotta get into it.
I've only been in 2 relationships. I don't see myself in any time, so.
No.
Yeah, you don't need a relationship about 30.
Yeah, I was like, I'm
Still got one more.
I was like, I can legally have sex now, so like, might as well go do that. I don't
like.
I don't like with one person. Like, I'm not really into like monogamy.
Monogamy?
Yeah, monogamy is like, it seems like kind of ass. Like, I can love you, but I can also want to do, like, I can also want to, like, explore, you know?
I see. Yeah, like open relationship type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. That seems more of a practical thing, too. I think people with open relationships stick together longer. Like, you ever see, I think Betty White, she had an open relationship with some dude. And, of course, they're still married, but they're best friends. Like, they'll never not love each other and shit. And they've been together forever.
Like,
you know?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer, like, marry your best friend, but, like, I don't think you have to close them off. Like, people are annoying right now. Like, they're so annoying. Like, they don't let them, like, some girls don't let their boyfriends have female friends. Like, you have that, you literally don't trust them that much. Like,
and I think it's because we were taught this structure, though, too. We were taught, like, okay, when you're in a relationship and you see your significant other do this, you know, like, you gotta fucking stop that because it's a disrespect to you, and I see the disrespect. So you, as a person, you go, let me hide that disrespect, and tell them how to act like this and act like that, you know. And you're trying to put them in this what is it, like this stencil that you have made out, you know, like you better fit like this fucker. And the moment they do and you try and fit in, that's the argument. It's never gonna fit.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are with each other for the wrong reasons. Like they know they're gonna fight every fucking day. They know it, but they're too fucking chicken shit to walk away from each other.
Yeah. Then, like, I don't know why it's a signifier that, like, if you're struggling and you can make it, like, you guys tolerate each other, like, you're a strong relationship.
Yeah. No.
Like, I don't understand that. Like, if you guys actually, like, you guys can argue sometimes, but, like, you guys should never be at the point where, like, you hate each other.
Yeah, like,
but then, like, they go back and they're like, oh, like, I love you still, but, like, you should know, like, what's better for your mental health.
Well, think about your own best friend and everything. Like, you know, of course you're gonna argue with them, but is it hard being their best friend? No, it never really is. You know, it's not hard being her best friend at all. And my other homies too, like, it's not hard. And that's what my friend told me. Every time you're in a relationship, just think about that. Like, if they're making life that hard, why the fuck are you with them?
Yeah.
You know, like, you're just tolerating them. And there was something miscalculated where you go, oh, well, the physical nature of it is much better than any kind of psychological one, you know, or mental one. And then now you realize, like, oh, the sex is done with and it's not as exciting. All I have is their psychological and it's mental, and it's not that awesome. It sucks. Now I'm with a fucking boring ass person, and all I gotta do with her is to argue with her to be entertained. You know? So
Yeah.
I've been in way too many of those.
Yeah. I'm not like I can be in, like, a monogamous relationship. Like, I could, but, like, I would need that mutual respect, like, where you trust me enough, you know? Like, I have other guy friends, I'm gonna go talk to them. And it's either, if you're not cool with that, you can get up and leave. Like, I really don't care.
I see.
Like, I'm not trying to shit on people who are in closed-off relationships. Like, if you love your relationship, like, good for you. But, like, if you're crying every day because you guys are fighting every day, like...
Or worried if that person's cheating. Or
yeah, like, if you guys don't trust each other, why are you with each other?
It's just gonna fucking hold you back from the person that's gonna treat you right. But even then, like, you know, you shouldn't need anybody to keep you happy at the same time, too. I have a friend that was so involved, I can't say his name, but, man, he had this whole life planned out and just blew up in his face, just, oh my God, and at that age, you think he'd know, you think he'd learn and everything. Like, all the signs were bad, everything was bad, everybody told him, everybody knew except him, it seemed like.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks, man. It just, because he needs to learn how to love himself. But he has his good days. You know, he's actually really insightful when he's not so fucked up.
Yeah, he literally made me pour out my whole childhood traumas. Like, I was like, I don't mind, but, like, why do you want to know all this?
Yeah, you know, I invited him over one day, and I had a fucking bunch of people come over for a fight, and Unabomber was there. Unabomber is this, like, socially awkward person. Like, he doesn't get the social cues. Not that important, but we're all sitting down, we're all watching it, I'm having a beer. An old coach of mine, he's an old family friend too, he knows my mom. He comes over, fuck dude, I haven't seen you in years. My mom will be home in a bit, come on in. You know, and he sees us all just watching the fight. I ask him, hey bro, you want a beer? He goes, oh no man, I don't drink anymore. And of course, Robert hears it,
Oh,
and he goes, "Oh, why don't you drink anymore?" Doesn't introduce himself, nothing. The first thing he says to him is, "Why don't you drink anymore?"
Yeah, I see that coming from him.
And fucking Unabomber goes, "That's none of your fucking business, bro." Like right there, and he goes, "Damn, I'm just asking him." And he goes, and he looks up at him, and he looks back at Robert, and goes, "That's none of your fucking business, bro." And that was that. And I was like, "Jeez."
Yeah,
That's what you get for being nosy, fucker.
Was that before or after I met him?
Oh, that was way before you met him.
Okay, yeah, because he asked me if I was okay with like talking about my stuff.
I see.
Yeah. Which I'm glad that he like. It's not. I don't think it's bad to get to know people like that, but it's just you need to make sure that they're comfortable first.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He
you're
takes leaps
talking
like
with-
that a lot, and
Yeah.
then if you're not comfortable, he makes you feel further uncomfortable by explaining, like by saying, "Well, why are you uncomfortable? This is why you shouldn't feel uncomfortable." And
Yeah.
it's only like
He's
you
a
see
psychology
people-
major, isn't he?
Huh?
Psychology.
Yeah. He likes to believe he is.
That's funny.
Now a message from our sponsor.
Oh, I wanted to go back to the relationship thing. What we were talking about. It was how you said that you think that you need to learn how to love. Like you should love yourself before you love anyone else. Is that
Pretty
what-
much, yeah. But like
Yeah.
you should be able to just enjoy your own company and whatnot like that. Like, and so when someone does leave you, you're like how you said, like, yeah, I don't care. Like, of course you're gonna have some attachment to it, but you're gonna be like, I'm fine. Because I love myself enough to know I'm pretty badass. I'm pretty awesome. I'm going to entertain myself.
Yeah.
But he is so far from that, and I try hard to get him back on that track. But once he thinks about the competitive nature of it, he kind of goes, oh. So I was telling Julian about that, and I said, like, at 26 years old, I was done competing, man. And you should too. It's just, like, life's not a competition. Just make it fun. I'm probably gonna make a lot less money selling art, but I'm gonna be a lot more happier. And I know that my brother works for Edison, man, and he makes fucking buku money, man. He has an awesome house. He has where my parents wish I could be, but I'm telling you, it's probably that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But that's not the life I really want. It's nice, but it's not. I want to have like a little shack where I can do my paints and shit. Have my dogs run over. My brother's very like military guy. Like everything's in its place. Fucking grass is cut like
Nice,
Fucking-
ordered, all
Yeah.
the same length.
yes, depends on how you look at it.
I think, well, because I honestly don't entirely agree with the fact that, or like with love yourself before you love anyone else, because like sometimes like people with mental illness, like they don't have that, like they don't have that confidence, they don't have that
The
like
support.
comfort. Yeah, so like they need somewhere to start. They're like, oh hey, this person likes me enough to be with me like throughout like all my problems.
I see.
Like I'm not necessarily doing bad to them, but like they could leave if they wanted to.
Uh-huh.
And
So you're
but
saying
they're
like
choosing
a
to stay.
crutch, like you like to love yourself, like to ignite the flame.
Yeah, it's like I heard a poem about like this type of topic, and it was some girl talking about her depression and like her suicidal like tendencies and thoughts and stuff, and it was a love poem to I think her significant other, like, and one of the lines that I loved from it was you love me enough to make me want to love myself too.
I see.
Yeah, so, and I thought that was really sweet. So I think it's just more of like understanding like some people may need that foundation to like that's like their last grasp.
I get it, like
grasp
the
for
the
life.
Kickstarter. I get that, like just to spark it and everything.
Yeah.
But at some point, I believe it's your responsibility to self-sustain it.
Yeah.
Because like like you said, you love me enough to make me want to love myself.
Yeah.
But what if one day that person ends up leaving? You gotta hope that that person took that love and self-sustained it.
Yeah.
So where they go, okay, that person gave me a really awesome gift. They're gone now, because they not even just leave, they could die.
Yeah.
So now and then all they have is themselves. So they could, like, at the same time, with that balance of things, you need to learn how to love oneself going forward. But you're right. You maybe not. You don't need to love yourself before loving someone else.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need someone to spark the flame. It's the same thing with the art. At least with her. Like, I was an MMA fighter for so long, and I thought that was fulfilling. And then I realized, like, the competition sickens me. Like, they took something that's both natural and chaotic. That's, if you think about that, that's beautiful, and they put it in a fucking cage. For a bunch of assholes who don't know what it's like to be in there to judge you. I totally hate that aspect of it.
Yeah, they're capitalizing on other people's pain and skill.
Yeah, and they've been doing it since the Roman age.
I'm pretty sure the fighters get paid a good amount, but like They're getting critiqued by guys who are like over 200, 300 pounds.
That's exactly what I
Like-
was saying. I was saying exactly like dudes who are sitting on their fucking couch saying that jujitsu shit won't work on me type of motherfucker, and it's just like, and it does suck because they're only getting paid like 18 grand a fight, which is like, dude, like if you got injured, 18 grand would barely cover your medical expenses.
It's fucking not even that.
Yeah, and the fucking basketball player, the baseball player, who's not in that much danger. In comparison.
And also like it also resonates in other sports like fucking I don't know, like baseball or basketball. Like they have people critiquing other people from the sideline just because they played high school baseball.
Yeah.
Like okay, you have a high school level experience, but these are people getting trained by like professionals, and they're doing a career in which you would probably want to do.
Yeah, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like I see this woman, remember Rose, the thug? She has a bald head, and she beat that crazy Russian chick.
Oh yeah.
And she beat her twice.
Yeah.
And there were still dudes like talking shit, like oh, she ain't nothing, or she's just on the street, and it's like, dude, bro, fuck, dude, she's a professional. She beat a woman who was dubbed unbeatable. Mm-hmm. This woman was like on a 5-year win streak. No one could beat her. I even thought, oh fuck, they're throwing this bitch a bone. And then Amber, I think, what was her name? Amber, or something Thug. and she has a bald head. I can't really say her last name. I don't know how. She surprised me not once but fucking twice. Proved it. And the first time I thought maybe it was a fluke. Second time did the same thing. It was just, I love seeing that shit. But I fucking hate the critics too, because it even goes into the comic books. There was a forum where there was a bunch of people pissed off that Superman saved a bunch of immigrants at the border. Border Patrol shot at the immigrants trying to get into the country, and Superman showed up and blocked all the bullets. Mm-hmm. And there were people in the forum saying like, oh, so now Superman breaks the law now, huh? And I was just like, when it comes to human life, fuck your laws. Like, what do you... And then it went into the point where they were like, if it wasn't for my ancestors coming here, you guys be fucking in huts and blah, 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 blah.
Shit, maybe we should be.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound
healthy,
fucking
we
bad.
probably wouldn't have like a shortage of food or anything.
But when they say that shit, it was just like, oh, you're obviously uneducated, like, So, the I guess the whole central thesis of this whole show is about, I guess, like human decency. Like, yes, it does drive some inspiration, like when there's a dark day or when there's a dark time. I was telling Julian, like, I think gay people have to overcome a lot more issues early on in life that makes them grow up faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things, rites of passage that a lot of people won't go through. Like women too. Women have a rite of passage that they go through too. Like, whether it's what is it, like when women are real catty with each other and shit like that, and then at the same time, I've noticed like a lot of women get molested or raped before they're like adults. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, we're not watching our girls. We're not watching our little girls. Like, no one gives a shit. And it's like everybody has these rites of passage. Like, now you guys have to deal with your families. The backlash of a traditional religious Mexican family. That's fucking, dude, I like I said, the closest thing I got was coming out non-religious wise, and that was fucking devastating. I could only imagine what you guys went through.
I mean, I still haven't gone through it. So.
I'm sorry?
I'll let you know.
I'm sure, like, there's been something, like, where someone says something to you, like you said.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's been, like,
an surprised, like, when you were gay, like.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure, well, actually, I'm pretty sure, like, I told my little sister today, but I really didn't treat it as anything, and she actually told me too, so it was kind of cute.
Oh, yeah. Really? That's awesome.
Well, not like gay, but she's gone out with a girl.
Because I'm trying it out, see if it fits.
But I do think what Anthony said was like, it makes you stronger way quicker, And I mean, yeah, some people it does take time, such as Petey, or not even just that, he just doesn't think it's their business, which is true.
Yeah, and that develops a strength on its own right there too. You have your own morals.
I'm pretty sure my family knows, but like none of them have a confirmation from me. Like none of them like have asked me, so like I've never had the need to tell them.
I see. See, it's not that it's not important to them either, but it's like they probably feel the same about you. Like, we don't want to make it a giant deal and make him feel bad or say the wrong thing. I'm sure they just don't want to do that.
Actually, I came out to my grandma, but she told me that I was like 16 or no.
Oh yeah, your grandma's hella supportive, right?
I was like 13 actually. I told her, but I first came out as like bisexual.
I see.
Just like to see how like
test the waters.
Yeah, test the waters, and She told me that I was too young to know what I wanted. And I was like, I guess. I was like, I've liked boys since first grade.
But you
go
could,
ahead.
but let it be the other. But like, I bet if you went up to your grandma and be like, Grandma, you know that girl over there, I like her. She would be like, you should go talk to her. I mean,
No, I had a girlfriend.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they all knew about her, but like, yeah, I don't know. They were all proud or some shit. I don't know.
How you were saying how it's like it makes you stronger. I think it's kind of a cycle if you really think about it. Like, you know, the older gays now, you know, how they're reaching out to people to make their like, you know, coming out story a lot smoother, you know.
Yeah, the transition is actually
So I think it's
smooth.
only for us to deal with it quicker and have to deal with all that, not really pain, just like frustration. It's just gonna make us, you know, stronger quicker, and then so that we can be the next ones to teach, you know, the younger ones that are coming.
And I think different paths too. Like I think Petey's path is a good one too. Like, you know, not making a big deal about it and letting it kind of fall at the wayside as it should. You know, like it shouldn't come up. Like, do we go up to April and, hey, are you straight? Like, are you straight? We don't do that. You know.
Start doing that with people.
Yeah, you know, like, well, wait, are you straight?
Are you straight?
Or like you see couples kissing, you're like, hey, can you stop that? That disgusts me. But like, you know, like
I always say straight couples make me nervous.
like step
back.
But yeah, like with that said, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I think this one was a really good and informative show. If you guys learned anything about comics, if you have any questions about comic books, let me know.
And I also want to like apologize, like if I said anything like incorrect or anything, you know, like because I don't know everything.
Of course. Yeah.
So like I just want to like put that disclaimer, like I don't. Like, I'm just expressing my knowledge of whatever, and if I'm wrong, you can please inform me.
Your intentions are always good. I feel like every time you post anything that's political or even, like, on the verge of being political, your intentions for posting it are always good and always have the best.
Yeah. I just don't want to be like that person who, like, they get proven wrong and they kind of look like an asshole, you know?
I see.
And then I also don't want to be the person who's like trying to defend themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I'm wrong about something, tell me. Like, I don't know,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's all that can be done is to be told. And
Yeah, well, see, like like for me too, like my belief changes upon information given, so that's why, you know, again, comic books is a good segue to that and actually opening up. Like, shit, I don't know everything about comic books, so please, if you have something to contribute or to let me know, fucking maybe I got the wrong Silver Surfer or whatever. Like, yeah, let me know. I want to fucking know. I actually want. Most times, I celebrate knowing that I fucking just got a little bit smarter, knowing some shit, you know. And then doing your own research is always fun too. So yeah, again, you know, the disclaimer is nice, but it's not needed because fuck those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't want to get yelled at.
Like, doesn't want a Jeffree Star scandal.
If anybody yells at you, Petey, you tell me.
Well, because like. Because, like, it's not even, like, me caring about what people think. It's just, like, people are good at manipulating and twisting around words.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, they can make me look super racist or, like, homophobic when I'm not trying to be or I'm not at all.
Yeah.
that's not your intention.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
But, yeah, thanks again, guys, for coming on. Again, can you guys sound off for me? We got
Julian.
And
PD.
April.
And Anthony Spartacus. I just wanted to add to that. Thank you, guys. This has been a great night. Take it easy. Cut it, AP. Cut it.